I'm not going to keep this hat on for long because it won't fit my headphones. And my arms are already getting tired.
Marek Robinson.
She answered the question. She said no, so then I went, okay.
And Phil Tremblay.
Nebraska could disappear off
I know
the
it's in the
face of the
States,
earth,
but where's
and it would not
Nebraska?
affect me any.
Grab a seat because the show starts right now.
The Hurricanes storm back. Colorado's on the brink, as is Boston, and the Vancouver and Edmonton series is tied at 2. Some troubling news out of Chicago, but we'll get there later. I'm, as always, Alex Furco with Marek Robinson.
Hello, hello.
And Phil Tremblay.
Yes, sir. Well, I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again.
Yeah.
Carolina avoids the sweep. I actually have not watched any of those games, but I'm pretty impressed that they're still alive. I kind of figured maybe they'd get 1. Getting 2, I'm impressed. This series is back alive.
Where do we want to start? Do we want to start with New York and Carolina, almost like Colorado?
Yeah, we might as well.
So after being down 3-0, on Saturday they beat New York 4-3, and then on Monday they beat New York again 4-1. I believe both had Kachetkov in net for the Canes.
No, I think one of the game. I think Anderson went back in. I believe.
Box score for the Hurricanes. Yeah, sorry, Freddie was in net.
Freddie was in net for the comeback.
Yeah.
That's huge. I mean, when you need to do it, you get her done. Well done to Carolina. Oh no, my pen. Saved it. We're good.
Quit touching it, Mike.
Well, I had to get the pen.
So do you run with Freddie next game then?
Yeah, absolutely.
You have been, I think.
Because this was the.
I think Freddie's been in net for the past 2 wins. It's Kachetkov was in for the overtime loss, and
then Brind'Amour went back to.
Yeah, so.
I guess that's probably exactly what Anderson needed. It was just one game to just kind of chill out, and now he's back dialed. This is going to be a great series. I still think Rangers are going to take it as soon as they get back in the Garden.
They lost in the Garden.
Oh.
And it's not like, I guess Madison
Yeah,
scored
last time they were there on Saturday, they lost 4-3.
I guess, yeah, both these games are at home for the Rangers. That's brutal. Oh, no, only one of them were.
Yeah. They're going back to MSG on Thursday, tomorrow. So we'll break that game down on Friday. Do you think this series goes 7?
I don't think it goes 7. I think New York is going to find their game again. I think they play way too defensively in that 4-1 loss. Obviously, your only goal coming from Jacob Trouba. Shesterkin was a wall until Jordan Staal broke through with that 1 goal, and then the floodgates opened. The bird arose, and Kuznetsov scored. I think it was 2. I think he scored the second one, and the bird celebration came out.
Tuesday.
So, other than that, yeah, I think Canes are doing a good job storming back. I think your key players right now have been Aho, Gensel, even the captain, Jordan Staal, helping the boys kind of push that first goal, opening the floodgates against Shesterkin.
Yeah,
Aho's been nothing short of amazing for them. I think it's all you can really hope for. Freddie Anderson's been doing what he needs to do. But yeah, I think Canes have really done a good job in delaying the series
inevitable.
time and time again.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's exactly what they needed to do. There's not much more to say about that, I don't think. They've made a series out of something that we thought. Obviously, we had the broom out the last week. Well, I had the broom out. And I was honestly and I think it was fair to be confident in that. But you know what? We got a series.
I know Marek wanted you. Do you think it's going to end in 7 or 6?
I think it'll be 6 as well. The Rangers will wake up. They'll wake up after.
They didn't even play bad in the 4-3 loss. I don't think they played the worst. The 4-1 loss was brutal. They allowed all the goals in the third, I believe.
Yeah, That's the only goal from this series that they have scored less than 3 goals.
Did you know the New York Rangers have 4 shorthanded goals this playoffs?
Really?
They had 3 against the Capitals and then 1 against, I think 3 against the Capitals.
Damn.
Dang.
That's pretty cool.
It's a lot
You
of
don't see it.
shorthanded goals.
I must have missed all of them because I had no idea. Yeah. Game 6 tomorrow.
Keep it Eastern with Florida.
Boston has
This one's
found
pre-
some life. And
Boston has found some life.
there's been some very questionable calls.
So I was
In
going to
this
get into
series.
that. I was going to get into that because we're going to hit up Vancouver and Edmonton immediately after this one.
Yeah, we are.
Because this is where I think the whole question mark of discipline and penalties and suspensions come into play. I'm setting it up for later, but how do you suspend Carson Soucy, but you don't suspend Sam Bennett?
I didn't see the Sam Bennett. I'll pull it up.
Brad
Boston had more shots than had more than 20 shots for the first time in 3 games.
It was on Marchand?
Yeah, it was Sam Bennett on Brad Marchand. I think Brad Marchand was already ruled out for Game 6,
Yeah.
unless I'm mistaken.
Oh, yeah.
Bennett said he was.
Absolutely, that should be a suspension.
Bennett said he was bracing for a hit, which.
What do you mean you're bracing for a hit? You swung at him.
Exactly.
You literally gave him the right hook.
Yeah. Marchand hasn't. I don't think he's played since.
No, he has not. I think the tipping
He
point.
went down like a sack of potatoes.
Well, he wasn't
Holy
expecting
cow.
a hit, did he?
Yeah,
Oh.
because you're by your
Ooh.
bench. You're going for a change. You're not expecting to be popped like that.
He clocked out.
And,
That's brutal. That's got to be a
I
suspension.
think the tipping point. That was a while ago, so there's no suspension. I think the tipping point was in Game 3, I believe. Where
6-2.
no, Game 4, where they won 3-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where Bennett shoved Carlo into Swayman and then popped into
Man. Okay.
which is very questionable because if you look at the rule book and understand what goalie interference is, even though nobody seems to understand what goalie interference is, Sam Bennett shoves Brandon Carlo into the net, into Swayman, and then Swayman is not able to make a save. The idea of goalie interference is that if a opposition player pushes or is in the way of a goalie attempting to make a save, it's goalie interference.
Yeah.
So why was that not goalie interference? He was
It seems like the definition of goal.
Yeah. If the actions of an opposing player, an offending player, limit the goalie and his abilities to make a save,
Yeah.
that's no goal.
because Bennett shoves Carlo into Swayman, and Swayman cannot slide across to make a save.
I mean, obviously, there's some sort of interpretation to that because if you look at like the way you worded there, the actions of any opposing player, could you argue a screen is a technically if you go by that
Physically. Sorry.
Physical,
Physically
okay.
getting in the
Yeah,
way.
there you go.
Sorry, I should have.
because I was like, well, like because yeah,
Well, even yet last night's game, Bobrovsky made this save with his shoulder, and then held it for a second, and then got back up.
It was Coyle, by the way.
It was what?
Coyle, not Carlo.
My bad. But anyways, right? So he makes this save. Boston still has pressure in the net, and then they call the whistle. For what? Because he's hurt,
Yeah.
allegedly. And then Bobrovsky turns around the ref and goes, "Why we call him? What's the whistle for?"
yeah.
It feels way too lopsided. Because look at power plays. So last night's game there was 4 power
I
plays
mean,
for
that's
Florida,
pretty even though.
and
4
3
4 on 5.
3 for Boston. Go to the previous games, and then you'll see some discrepancies. So go 3-2. In the 3-2 game, Florida had 6 power plays to Boston's 4,
Yeah.
and it's just been like that. I think up until Game 5, I think Florida's penalties, the power plays were 18 for Florida and 7 for Boston.
Yeah, I mean, these are both very two of the most physical teams in the league. Obviously, you're gonna see fireworks in this. I'm not surprised at all that there's quite a few penalties.
It's starting to feel a little lopsided.
I just don't understand. Because I watched that game, the Sunday Mother's Day game, the 3-2 game. I was losing my mind because I think Bob flopped twice.
Yeah,
There was that goal interference penalty. I forget who it was on. Game center drove me nuts, and then he flops at the end of the game. I was screaming. Morgan Geeky goal interference on Bobrovsky. He flops.
I don't know. It's just been some very questionable calls in this series, and obviously they wouldn't have mattered in games 1 and 2 and 3, but getting into the closer games of 3-2 and 2-1, they're going to mean a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going back to the Garden on Friday.
It'll be close.
I think it's up in the air. I think it's still up in the air.
Boston's back
has
against
life,
the wall.
but Boston's got life, especially at home. I mean, they lost both home games. What am I saying? What am I doing?
I don't know. What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm gonna give it to Boston. I think Boston comes back.
You think the series goes 7?
Boston in 7.
Boston in 7. Okay.
I don't know. I think I don't really have a winner, but I can see it going to 7.
Yeah.
I can't actually.
Well, I mean, with Game 7s, like if it goes to Game 7, it's a toss-up, and that's how it is with most of these teams. I think. And I said that last week. Whoever shows up better on the one day obviously wins it all. So, and it could be like all 4 of these series are so close now that the Canes are kind of in contention again.
Yeah.
That any Game 7, it could be anybody. And that's why we love playoff hockey.
You want to head over to Team Canada, not Team Canada, but Canada series?
Absolutely.
What a weird turn of events as the Edmonton Oilers start Calvin Pickard over Stuart Skinner. And,
I mean, it worked for
and
him.
he ends up getting the win. You are playing a technically, if you want to be super technical, Pickard is a third string. If you count Skinner, then Campbell, if you want to count it like that. In this case, he's a second string, but it's a second string versus a third string.
Yeah.
And obviously,
I mean, it worked out for them. Obviously,
it was way too close.
It was way too close. First career playoff start, first career playoff win.
Besser tied it with 1:26 left, and then Bouchard has. I saw this comment on Instagram, and it was Bouchard had all the time in the world to take that shot. He could have cooked a full-blown steak meal before he could have taken that shot. And it was true. You watch that. He has about 4 seconds to wind up, and just to look, and then bang, just shoots it in.
Can we jump back to Game 3 briefly?
I was gonna start talking about Game 3 as well.
Yeah. Do you want to start with Draisaitl or do you want to start with Zadorov?
I was
Did you see the Draisaitl quote?
The Post one?
Post is not good goaltending.
Yeah, but Post isn't good offense either.
Yeah. Like what?
That's true.
Okay, so Artur Silovs makes 42 saves in the Game 3 win.
Does a post doesn't count as
The post doesn't count as a shot,
not
and
a
I'm
shot.
sorry. Do you expect him to make the shots that make saves on shots that don't count? Then
I mean, like, if you're shooting at 10 feet above the air, you're expecting him to jump up and catch it? Like,
Yeah, actually, I do.
or okay, yeah. Like, here, can I rephrase what Draisaitl said?
no.
Wah.
Womp womp.
Yeah, pretty much.
Womp womp. Draisaitl tends to do that, doesn't he? Anyway, end of the game,
He is a Flames fan. I just
So
wanna reiterate
dumb.
that.
so dumb from Zadorov and Soucy.
No, more Zadorov than
I
Soucy.
mean,
Soucy's the one who hit him in the face.
yeah, but he was
falling though.
Yeah, but I was gonna say
Either way, that was
Zadorov
so
hits
unnecessary.
McDavid, it right in the
The
back.
hit was unnecessary
and
too. Zadorov's hit was unnecessary too.
McDavid folds, obviously, because he doesn't know the hit is coming and takes the cross check to, I think, the neck.
I'm surprised Soucy made it out of that building alive.
So okay,
Because Perry wasn't on the ice.
Like
it
if
was
you're
co-
Edmonton, you maul him.
if it was completely unprovoked, I would get it. But if you're watching the full clip, McDavid slashes him. Soucy.
And then Soucy slashed him back.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, Zadorov didn't come from nowhere.
There was a quote Zadorov said too, that they gotta protect their investment.
Protect their investment. That's the exact article I pulled up for the story by Kyle Cushman.
This Zadorov is just having a nice little run here.
He is having a nice run. I'm pretty stoked
tiny run.
with Zadorov. But
I think arguably you could say he's the third best defenseman in these playoffs.
like
No, fourth. I put 3 maybe above him.
But Soucy's going to come back.
Bouchard.
Soucy's going to come back after this suspension, and he's going to get rocked.
He's gonna get lit up.
he's gonna, yeah, like you should just keep him on the bench for his own safety. But like that's what they kind of should have done.
Well, I mean, Sam Bennett.
It was at
injured
the end of the game. Like
Sam Bennett injured Marchand. I haven't seen anyone gun after Bennett. Credit, he didn't do a lot in the last game, but still.
Like what happened when someone blew up, like put a cheap shot on Gretzky? They died.
Yeah.
They were murdered in cold blood.
I love when Zadorov talks.
Wasn't he the one that said that there's nothing interesting to do in Edmonton?
Yeah.
That legendary quote.
So
and I agree. Edmonton sucks.
I'll flip that quote shortly here.
Remember.
But
I mean the city in general.
Speaking after Game 3,
I've only actually gone there to play hockey, so.
He was speaking on Susie here. Obviously, it's a big loss for us. At the end of the day, the NHL has to protect their investment. So that's my understanding of the situation. Was the Susie cross-check on McDavid, and then from this same article by Kyle Cushman on The Score, when Zadorov was asked why the league didn't protect him in the same way as McDavid, he answered half jokingly, "Well, I guess I don't make that much money for the league."
He is now.
I love him,
but
he's great.
I mean, maybe it was like obviously there was a bit of. It was a little bit coincidental that the cross-check ended up in McDavid's face. But the cross-check still was a heavy cross-check to the face.
Oh, 100%.
Like, any day that's a suspension. Every day.
And
that's at least a game.
I like how it's only one game. I think they took playoffs into accountability.
Yep.
Which is good, I think.
And I think the one game also takes into account the fact that, you know what, it was a little bit accidental that it ended up on his face, but
it's not like, okay, here's 5. Okay, you're out till so what, that was in Game 4 he did that, or Game 3?
That was Game 3.
So he would, if that series went to 7, he'd still be out, and if Vancouver were to win, he'd be out for Game 1 of the Western Conference Final if they were to make it, and if he were to get suspended 5.
The other Zadorov quote is, "It's fun. They have good fans, diehard fans. I mean, there's pretty much nothing else to do in that city except watch hockey."
Where in Russia is he from?
They also have like a really big mall.
They do.
Yeah, there's a water park there.
Their zoo isn't that bad either.
Okay,
I like
he is from like the one city in Russia that people actually can do things.
Moscow?
Yeah.
Huh?
I was hoping he was from like some tiny little Russian town. I was like, that'd be funny. You're trying to talk.
We went ahead into arguably the most lopsided series as of recent.
Absolutely.
Dallas Stars are on the cusp of eliminating the Colorado Avalanche.
Not at all what I expected.
And have been utter dominant since.
It's been crazy. It's been insane.
I think the depth of Dallas has awoken Tyler Seguin. Like there was one game where Tyler Seguin and Rupe Hintz, they were in that 4-1 game, 2 goals each. Yeah. Unfortunately for Dallas tonight, Rupe Hintz is out. But think of it. Okay, Rupe Hintz is out. You have Duchesne, you have Robertson, Stankoven, Johnston, Pavelski, Onger, Hiskinen, Harley.
Yeah, Onger's going to score a lot of goals for him tonight.
Onger's going to light up Annunen.
Annunen? Is he starting?
I don't know.
Oh, we didn't mention that on Edmonton. Oh, no, we did mention that.
Cal Pickard?
Yeah.
Why
did I think that was?
I think the depth is
yesterday.
succeeding for Dallas, obviously.
You thought now was yesterday.
Yeah.
Stankoven has been playing outstanding. Johnston has been setting records. He just turned 21. He's leading their team in points, and has just been an outstanding player. Did you guys see his shorthanded goal? I think we were talking. You and I were talking.
The one where he stick lifted Makar and
stick lifts Makar.
Embarrassed him.
Yeah, it was just he's been playing very good hockey. Yeah, I think Dallas right now, other than New York, is the favorite in the West.
No goalie has been confirmed for the game tonight.
Why is your mic facing down?
Oh, it fell.
Just leave it. Just leave it.
Yeah, I did not expect. I thought Dallas would put up much more of a fight.
Dallas is putting
especially. I mean, they just like proving us wrong. We go off and say that Dallas is Colorado. I thought Colorado was going to put up more of a fight. I mean, they just like proving us wrong because last week we said now they're going to go to Colorado. They're going to play in this high elevation arena.
It didn't matter apparently.
It didn't matter. Actually, Dallas got better.
Colorado was a team that struggled in their arena.
We suck
With
basically
Dallas
at
playing
predicting
in
things.
Colorado, they've scored 9 goals to Colorado's 2.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
And a unfortunate thing, if you are a big Colorado fan and just a hockey fan in general, is Valerie
Are we gonna do that?
Nichushkin
Yeah, let's get into it.
has
Forgot about that.
been suspended by the NHL for 6 months without pay for violating, I believe, stage 3 of his NHL PA.
He violated stage 2. He's in stage 3 now.
Oh, he's in stage 3. So he invalidated his stage 2 as he failed a drug test, which now puts him in suspension for, so he's not coming back for playoffs. If everything goes well, I believe he will return November 13th. I think they said was the closest.
That's brutal because Nichushkin was doing a lot.
Nichushkin had
Nichushkin was helping quite a
he
bit.
had 10 points, 9 goals, 1 assist.
Like that's pretty big. That's a huge
And then
loss.
last game, they also Colorado also was missing Devin Tays due to illness, and also Jonathan Drouin returned last game and he recorded an assist. So good for him. Unfortunate for Colorado as one of their star players this postseason has been is no longer playing for the rest of the playoffs. And do you want to get into what Jack Johnson and Coach Jared Bednar said about him?
I didn't see what Bednar said. I only saw
Bednar was
what...
very. I think he just hoped. I think Bednar. I can't really remember the clip off the top of my head.
I did just happen to click on an article by CBC about
Bednar's.
that has Bednar's
It was really good. Yeah, do you want to say it?
Sure. Per an article on CBC by Pat Graham, Val is obviously struggling with something. Avalanche head coach Jared Bednar said, "Yeah, it sucks for our team. We've got to turn the page. We've got to play way better than we did today." He also says later, "I've gotten to know Val as a person, and I've gotten to know him as one of our teammates, and I want what's best for him."
Great response, I think, as a leader, and obviously one of the spokesperson for the Colorado Avalanche, being the head coach, and all. I think it's a good response. I think his teammates or some of his teammates are hoping he gets the help he needs. They've already taken the nameplate down. They've already removed all of his things that quick. And Jack Johnson.
That's crazy.
Did you see the Jack Johnson quote? Did you want to pull that up as well?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it here.
Jack Johnson's quote was a little bit more blunt and to the point.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about that because after saying that, what kind of room do you think Nichushkin walks back into in, 6 months from now? So that would be
November.
Yeah.
I also just want to prefix that if Nichushkin fails stage 3,
He's suspended for a year.
He is suspended without pay for an entire year and no, that's not the word. Reinstation.
Eligible, sure.
He's not, so with him being in stage 2, failing stage 2 and being in stage 3, he's guaranteed still to be reinstated into the NHL per those NHL PA rules. If he breaks stage 3 and enters stage 4, he goes into a year without pay and is not guaranteed to come back. Not guaranteed to be reinstated into the NHL.
Yeah, I understand why there's not a lot of information behind it. Obviously, it's a good thing there isn't. I wish there was, because I just want to know how to form an opinion on this. Because, I don't think it's PEDs. If it is, then this is super fair. But because it's with the NHL PA, I think obviously it's not.
It's not with PEDs. They would have openly announced it.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking this is a terrible way to. I don't think this is a way that works to treat someone with an issue like this.
Aiden, I just shared the tweet on the Google Meet if you want to switch over to that. Per Corey Messier on X, Twitter. As Jack Johnson on Val Nichushkin, he made his decisions. That's all I'm going to say on that. He made his decisions.
Like, again, I don't want to do a full deep dive on our opinions on mental health and addiction right now. I don't have the energy for it. But this is a pretty terrible way to deal with it, I think.
That was going to
It's
affect.
just saying, actually, just get out of here.
Well, look at
Like-
look at the two quotes. You have Bednar, who's hoping he gets the help he needs, and then Jack Johnson saying that. How does that deal with, like, now think of the people in the dressing room. Think of McKinnon, McCarr, Gerard, Taves, Lehkonen, like all the Colorado players. Well, what are they supposed to do? They're not having to deal with this narrative.
Well, they're
on top
supposed
of
to
the
just
fact-
play hockey right
on top
now.
of the fact that they're losing 3. But you've been playing hockey with this player since October. You have, like, you are going to war with this player. You can consider him your brother at this point.
Yeah, but I'm sure they
You
know.
can consider him family, right?
I'm sure they know everything.
But like,
though.
how does that make you feel as a player? That one of your friends and one of your better players who've been performing in the postseason so well has been taken out due to his own personal issues, but then it gets praised and hope he gets help by the coach, but then a teammate turns around and kind of says he makes his decisions by throwing some shade. How are you supposed to feel as a teammate? Like, obviously Landeskog is right now. I consider McKinnon the captain just because of Landeskog's injury. Obviously, we know Landeskog is the Colorado Avalanche captain. But if you're McKinnon, like, how do you get rid of that separation? How do you get the boys back into maybe even like you're on the brink of elimination tonight. You could be out of the playoffs tonight. How do you rally the boys up?
I know.
How do you get rid of all the outside like noise and just focus on hockey?
You're paid millions of dollars. You find a way.
Yeah,
That's,
I mean,
that's the response.
there's always professional.
Yeah, but you can't
Yes,
just
you can.
completely neglect that.
But
there's personal things within hockey.
Absolutely, but
if I can,
that's what they do.
if I can bring a different perspective to this, do you guys know the former team of Valery Nichushkin?
No.
Seattle.
Dallas.
What? See, Valery Nichushkin's 29. I searched that up. I knew that.
He played for Dallas from 2013-2014 to 2018-2019. So there are players on this team that know this guy as well. Tyler Seguin, Jamie Benn, Miro Heiskanen, Esa Lindell, Radek Faksa, Rupe Hintz, one of them as well.
Interesting. So, like, I mean,
so-
in comparison to Marek's point, that means it's relatively. I mean, it's not as big of an issue because
No.
both teams will be dealing with it.
Yeah, there's a few people on this team I'd imagine that call Nichushkin a friend.
Yeah, but like I'm sure the people that know Nichushkin and like people that you're referring to who call him a close friend, they know everything.
Yeah,
I'm sure of it. Like, I mean, they're your boys, right? Like, you tell them everything. But so I'm sure they kind of expected something. I'm sure they've been dealing with trying to navigate his issue. I mean, obviously they have since the whole Seattle thing.
yeah.
Do you want to touch on that? I remember we talked about it in the group chat. I'm actually not 100% sure what the whole Seattle situation was.
I also don't fully know. I just know it was a pretty big issue.
I don't know what it is, and then that's when I learned more about the NHL PA's stage system. Obviously, with with Nichushkin going into that now. Now I've learned more about it, but I don't know about this whole Seattle situation that has kind of surfaced back into life.
Just pulling it up here. I'm just going to share it just so we can put it on the screen because I love using this thing as well.
And again, like, I think I speak for us as a podcast. I hope he gets the help he needs. I hope he can get past this.
Which is the response.
But that's what I'm saying.
Which is the response you should have.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't like. My whole point when we started this discussion was the way that the NHLPA is just like, okay, get out of here. Like, you're not allowed to do anything
No,
for 6 months.
they've been
I don't think that's the way to get him the help he needs.
Yeah, but they've monitored him throughout all the stages.
Absolutely.
Stage 0 to 2. 0 being you just go into it. It's a really messed up situation, and I think this year you've seen a lot of players go into the NHLPA program. Obviously, in the past, you've seen Carey Price. A big one was Bobby Ryan, and you've seen that it can work. It's just you have to be open to do it. And I don't know. I think if you're Nichushkin, you're letting yourself down, you're letting team down. But then Jack Johnson to make those comments, in my opinion, I don't know. They don't feel needed. I can get that it's his decision. He made his mistake.
Not needed.
But don't say anything. Notice how he was the only player that said something, and the only other person that even responded to a question was the head coach. I'm not seeing the big names of Makar, McKinnon, Rantanen, even Lehkonen.
That's the wrong Jack Johnson.
Like saying anything about it. But why does Jack Johnson get an automatic opinion? Why does Jack Johnson have to put his comments out there? The only person that actually made sense to make a comment was the coach. And all the coach said was, I hope he does good things.
Meanwhile, Jack Johnson has 0 goals, 0 assists, and 9 games played in the playoffs. So.
He's +5 though. But still, like
plus minus means everything.
Yeah, you never know. You could be on the ice. But still, I just don't understand. It's a weird thing to see purely because your big names are obviously McKinnon, Makar, and Rantanen. Those are your big guys.
I'd argue Nichushkin's up there.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
But what I'm not understanding is why they're not making comments. Why did Jack Johnson make comments? Why did he feel the need or have the right to make a comment?
Well, I mean, I'm sure all of them had some sort of opinion. It's just he.
But how come they didn't voice it? Were they told not to? But like.
Well, we don't know that they didn't. Well, this happens all the time with opinions.
Yeah, they don't publish every quote.
Yeah, and then this happens every time with opinions.
I
Is
feel
the
like
one guy that makes an opinion that is different or that makes people angry, it's the one that gets popular.
I feel like you still prioritize a response from Makar or McKinnon.
McKinnon's response is in this press release.
Oh,
that I'm reading right now. Yeah. Cogliano's in here.
Do we want to touch on the Seattle thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would like to actually know what it is.
And if you want to throw it up. An audio call of 911 placed to request assistance for a woman that was found in the Seattle hotel room of Colorado Avalanche forward Valerie Nichushkin has been released to the Seattle Times.
Oh.
The woman believed that she was overdosed on alcohol or, quote, something got mixed in her drink. An unidentified individual called 911 from the Four Seasons Hotel on April 22nd after hotel staff checked Nichushkin's room and found the woman. Aiden, keep it up for a quick second here because I found a quote below here.
You can overdose on alcohol?
It's equivalent of blacking. Alcohol poisoning.
Where did that quote?
I didn't know that was the term.
Following the incident, the Avalanche revealed that Nichushkin wasn't with the team due to, quote, personal reasons, but never divulged any further information. Nichushkin had missed the team's morning skate on April 22nd and did not rejoin the team during their eventual first-round loss to the Kraken in 7 games.
It's just sad.
Per CBS's Chris Bengal on May 10th of last year.
It's just sad. Dallas can wrap up the series tonight as it's up 3-1. As they are up 3-1, they are missing Rupe Hintz tonight. What do you guys think? Does Dallas take it tonight?
Yeah,
I think so as well.
I can appreciate Duran coming in for Nichushkin and maybe filling in a spot, but you're also short Devon Taves. There's been no real pushback for Colorado in the past couple games. I don't see this going further.
You've been there's been every game you've been outplayed, even the game that you won and the games that you've come back from. There's been a moment in those games that you've been outplayed. You were outplayed the first 2 periods in the 4-3 win. You were outplayed you were outplayed for the first 2 periods until you came back again, and then you've been outplayed when you came home. So, before I think we head into Team Canada and some news, I'm taking over the AHL corner for this week as the Moose Straw Warriors.
That's fair. Get the broom back out.
Can we stay sad for a little bit longer?
I thought I had a good segue, but sure.
I mean, the WHL, not the AHL, but sure.
That's true. You did say
AHL. If we can stay sad for a little bit longer, this is the prime reason why I wanted to bring my screen up for people to see.
Once again, Chicago has showed us that they are not a great organization.
So
this came in this morning.
This morning.
The Chicago Blackhawks, per a tweet written by Rick Westhead, a woman who worked for the Chicago Blackhawks is suing the NHL team and its charity, accusing them of breach of contract, fraud, and sexual harassment. Trigger warning if you've been sexually assaulted or harassed.
We will put something on the podcast for viewers.
I'll put something in the in post below.
Do you want me to read it?
I mean, I was gonna switch over to an article on the next tab here.
We don't have to read the whole tweet.
Yeah, we don't have to, but I highlighted 4 numbers.
Okay.
Per the women's lawsuit, this happened in 2022.
Allegedly.
So once again, right before they were giving him Bedard.
Right after the Cali Beach stuff came out.
Yeah.
A year after.
This is all allegedly, by the way.
Yeah, this is all allegedly. The tweet from Rick Westhead came out at 8:51 this morning.
This is crazy. I'm just reading this article. Like, a lot of the work that it said she was doing was to increase, or I don't know if increase is the word, but better relations between the Chicago Blackhawks and First Nations. The team gifted the tribe a $250,000 decommissioned Blackhawk helicopter. What are they going to do with that?
Yeah.
What is the idea behind that?
Yeah, and another $100,000 in grants.
Well, yeah, there's $100,000. Cool. But what's the point of this dead helicopter when the whole point of this was to kind of show that the history behind the Black Hawk logo
and the name,
and
really.
she said it was she was basically like, this is not good, kind of similar to the Reds and the whatever Washington was called, Redskins, and then the Cleveland Indians. So I kind of agree. Call me a raging liberal, but it's kind of past that point. Obviously, it's not quite as bad as the Cleveland Indians, and not quite as bad. But if you have someone that you hired to be your consultant on this, and they tell you this, and then you don't do it, and then you double back and give them a Black Hawk helicopter, I think it's silly. But I hope they enjoy Connor Bedard.
Per an article on CBS News by Dave Savini and Sama Assad.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Aiden, you want to share my screen again? It sort of continues the stereotype that Native people are savages, said Sanders, the woman suing the Blackhawks. But the Chicago Blackhawks kept their name, saying that they are honoring Black Hawk, a real Native American person and war leader from Illinois. Sanders said she had a conversation with the team chief executive officer, Danny Wirtz, before she even accepted the job. I told him that it was racist. Sanders said that it was offensive because it was a caricature of a real person, a man who actually fought on behalf of his own people and lost so many lives in that process.
Yeah.
And the hope... So, recently, Danny Wirtz's dad, Rocky, passed away. I forget when, but an underlying hope in that was that, this cannot stay in my ear, was that the relationship between the Chicago Blackhawks organization and the general indigenous population is that it would get better. So hopefully whatever results from this lawsuit, hopefully it's resolved properly as opposed to last time, which we all know the Blackhawks were fined $2 million and that's it. Danny Wirtz's dad, Rocky Wirtz, died last year in July.
Yeah. I mean, obviously this whole thing, it literally came out this morning, so there's lots more that'll come out. We'll see as we follow that.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll find more information regarding it on our Friday show as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll trickle down a little bit. But yeah, I just want to touch on that as we're kind of after the Nichushkin thing, just so all the sadness is kind of blocked together.
Yeah.
Marek's WHL corner.
All right.
Marek's WHL
if you are a Moose
corner.
Jaw fan, you are taking out the Jaeger, and you are cheering for the Moose Jaw Warriors to bring out the broomsticks as they are up 3-0 in this series.
I'm glad we gave him a little bit more time to think about that, because that Jaeger line was pretty good.
I kind of searched up all their roster names. I was kind of hoping I could find two, but you can really only do like two last names you could like make a
drink
pun off
out
of. But Jaeger.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was pretty
I was
good.
going to try to do a Savoy one, but that was way too difficult.
Yeah.
But they...
Of all the ones you tried to do with Savoy?
You mean Savoy?
Whatever. Potato.
No, that one's actually not pronounced Savoy.
It's Savoy.
But they
It's usually
won
Savoy.
3-2 in overtime. Wait, was it 3-2 or 4-3?
It's your corner.
It's your
I don't
corner, bro.
Remember.
4-3.
4-3 in overtime as Look, man, I just paid. I watched for Jaeger. I'm gonna be completely honest, but
yeah, you just wanted to get the pun out of the way. Amazing game-winning overtime goal from Braden Sherman. Literally, like, popped it up, hit the I think it was someone else actually who hit the crossbar. It bounced off the crossbar and then baseballed it in. It was awesome. Moose Jaw Warriors. It's crazy. Like, we get a sweep in the final. Sweep potential in the final. Oh, it's gonna happen. I think Prince George could have put up a better fight against Moose Jaw than Portland is. But I don't care. Portland's not in Canada. I'm dying on that hill. This is true. It's not wrong. I'm not wrong.
It's in Oregon.
It's in Oregon.
In the States.
Yeah, pretty solid playing for Moose Jaw. Pittsburgh's got a good one.
So does Buffalo.
Yeah.
Savoy.
Yeah.
So
that's about it.
Do you want to move on to international stuff?
Yeah.
Please.
Because
I'd love to do this.
Well, let me do mine first. Except now it's gone. I had it somewhere, and now okay, you go.
Alrighty. So
Canada
if you're a
almost threw it
fan
away.
of Canada, surely you would see a 6-1 lead and think against Austria and think, yeah, this is pretty safe. We're feeling pretty good. What just happened?
That was brutal.
Team Canada, who is ranked number 1 in the world,
Surprise,
just allowed 5 unanswered goals in the third period to the 17th ranked Austria team. If it was Australia, that'd be even worse.
Would it be?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I can name 2 Austrian players in the NHL playoffs, and I cannot name a single Australian.
Yeah, that's fair.
But Canada did end up winning in overtime, as it was in the IIHF history, it was the largest comeback to get a point ever. And if you're Canada, yeah, you're not happy.
Per another Kyle Cushman article on The Score, the St. Louis Blues goaltender Jordan Binnington was in net for all 6 goals against. He made 15 saves. He made 15 saves on 21 shots against. That is a save percentage of 71.
That's nasty.
The line above this in the same article, every player on Canada's roster played in the NHL this season. How do you almost lose a 6-1 lead?
I'm gonna check something.
It's because it's overconfidence. It's always like that.
That leaves
it's the
power
same thing
runs
with
deep.
the game against Britain. We didn't lose. It wasn't that close. It was 4-2 for Canada, but no way should it have been that close.
Yeah,
Whoa, hello.
What?
That's some weird news.
What's that?
The Jets have officially made Nikolai Ehlers available for sale this offseason.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
And Puck Empire has just put a bunch of pictures or a bunch of teams that would benefit from that.
Everyone.
Well,
yeah,
on
Ehlers is
on this
great.
photo, it's Minnesota, Chicago, Edmonton, Toronto, the Islanders, the Avalanche, Carolina, the Nashville Predators, the Penguins, the Capitals, and the Bruins would all benefit.
So everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone
would.
Hey,
He's an
Calgary's
amazing
playing
player.
Speaking from a Penguins fan, I would love Nikolai Ehlers. That guy was
Everyone
insane.
would love Nikolai Ehlers.
Apparently the only team that wouldn't love him is Winnipeg.
Yeah. Moving on to some more international news. The 2024 Para Ice Hockey Championships, Sunday, Mother's Day. It was fantastic. Canada are world champions once again. The U.S. had won 3 consecutive Para World Champs up until this last one. That was super exciting to go see.
I want to make one point to.
Oh yeah, you were there.
Yeah, it
that's
was
loud.
awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Hold the phone.
It was unbelievable how quick they were. It was a very exciting game. Canada wins 2-1.
I just want to make a joke, or not a joke. I want to make a point to Austria.
Okay.
I want you to guess how many NHL players they have on this roster for
2.
Austria.
2.
Marco Rossi, and I'm probably missing a second.
They have 1, and it is Marco Rossi.
Yeah.
Like, that is brutal. Very brutal.
I used to work with someone who was coordinator for hockey operations for this para hockey team.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Shout out Hannah Kurlock.
Yeah, no, it was super, super cool. Obviously, these guys work so hard. It's so impressive to watch it on the ice. I heard, I don't know what the exact number is, but about like 80% of the guys on the U.S. team are veterans. Most of both teams are guys that have suffered injuries in adulthood, not in childhood, except for our goaltender, who was absolutely amazing, making saves that Stuart Skinner couldn't even make. 24 saves. He's got significantly less legs than Skinner as well. It's true. He's got less legs than Skinner.
That is such a.
But he does.
That is so bad.
But he
so
saved
bad.
more than Skinner.
That's so bad.
I was thinking Edmonton should probably call him up. Crazy story from this guy, though. He's from Smithers, BC. His name's Adam Kingsmill.
King.
He was 2 years old. You know how they say don't run around lawnmowers?
I was never told that. I would just assume don't run around lawnmowers.
Yeah.
Whoa, that is.
That's how he lost his leg.
Whoa. Quote, his accident occurred at age 2 when he was outside running around in his rubber boots in the rain. When he tried to race the lawnmower, Kingsmill slipped and fell, and that's where he lost his leg. Whoa.
And now he's world champion.
Do you want me to ask that, Aiden? Okay.
What?
Aiden asked a question that I'm not going to repeat.
I'm not fully sure how that works, because I've been thinking about it a lot since I heard the story.
When he's 2 years old, your legs are a lot
That's
smaller.
true. 2-year-olds do have small legs.
Well, I also imagine if you,
I knew someone who, when I was a baby, put their hand in a paper shredder. So they were able to fit their hand in a paper shredder.
So he was wearing rubber boots. He was 2, and they're mowing the lawn.
Why were they mowing the lawn in the rain? Is
Bingo.
a great question.
Precisely where I was going with that.
obviously-
Why are you mowing the lawn in the rain?
not too much more I want to get into that.
Or maybe did he just turn it on? It was just outside.
Either way, it was fantastic. I was pretty impressed with how many people were actually at the game. It was pretty impressive. It was a lot of fun.
Is that it for y'all's corner?
I think that's all I got for the para teams.
Moose Jaw hopes to bring up the.
I mean, a little bit more maybe international. Some very disappointing news concerning your favorite skyscraper, also goalie. Ivan Fedotov is not allowed to participate in the IIHF World Championships or the Olympics because he's Russian. It's just because he's Russian.
So yeah, the
whole Russian thing is
some
still
notable
going
players
on.
that obviously you're not going to see at the Olympics will be
Valery
Nichushkin,
Nichushkin.
Ovechkin, Malkin, and Fedotov. Is Vasilevsky Russian?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is Igor Shesterkin Russian?
Yes.
Yes.
There's some notable names that will not.
Bobrovsky's Finnish, isn't he?
Oh, he's Russian.
He's Russian too. Well, goodbye goalies. Anyway,
Yeah, it's
That's
the number
all I
one
got.
export.
favorite skyscraper of Alex.
There were 3 things I wanted to mention before we end the show in about 10 minutes here. First is that Ryan McDonough got his college degree. Former Predators defenseman graduated from Wisconsin-Madison
Isn't he still playing hockey?
and got his diploma. What was his major?
Is he still playing hockey?
I don't think so.
Really?
Oh, there's more things to say.
Is it something better than comms? Oh, that one got me.
Is he in broadcasting?
Dude, he's not even retired. He played this year.
Oh.
Played in the playoffs.
Well, hey, good for him. He's still, oh yeah, because he's with Nashville, isn't he? Good for him.
Hey, 2-time Cup champion. Yeah.
Nice.
Jump ship from Tampa at the perfect time.
Another thing that I was meaning to bring up, PWHL playoffs are in full swing
That's
here.
the second I was going to bring up anyway.
Oh, there we go. Boston wins their series. All 3 games going to overtime, including 1 triple overtime.
Still waiting for the NHL to have a really long overtime game.
Yeah, we've had a couple doubles, but that's it.
I want 6.
6
I want
would
3
be
games.
nuts.
I want there to be 8 games in a series.
That would be crazy.
Equivalent of how much you play.
Yeah.
Because obviously it wouldn't work if there's 8.
But you look at this triple overtime game where Boston beat Montreal 2-1 eventually. And I just want to compare the ice times between Boston and Montreal.
Sure.
Boston, pretty much everyone has near double-digit ice times except for one who has 0, so she just didn't play.
Or she got hurt.
Or she got hurt immediately.
Look at the goalie ice times.
Well, yeah, goalies are on the ice
I know,
most of the
it's
time.
just funny to look at. Holy. It's funny to look at.
But looking at Boston, like 41 minutes, 40 minutes, even like their top line, their second line, their third line, they're all pretty even in ice time. You look at
52
Montreal, and
Oh
it
my
is
gosh.
nowhere close.
A forward playing 52 minutes?
Yeah, 52 minutes for Laura Stacey. Marie-Philippe Poulin doing 50 minutes as well.
Nice French.
But then they also have some people who played 35 seconds, 12 seconds, 1 minute and 37.
I don't know
4
what
minutes,
they're. I don't know what they're
15
doing in the
seconds.
PWHL, but
Like, obviously, Boston has way more depth than Montreal, and it's no wonder that Boston beat them. If you go to a triple overtime game and you have Marie-Philippe playing the entire freaking overtime,
You should finish it.
you should probably get some better players.
you should probably throw in the players who played less than 2 minutes.
But the thing is, you don't have. But if you're doing that, you don't have confidence in them to put it
That's
away
true.
against Boston.
2 other pieces from the PWHL. I think Marek, you mentioned last week that it'd be funny if Boston met Toronto in the finals.
It's possible now.
And Boston lost, and Boston beat Toronto.
What can I say?
So
Toronto's 1 win away.
yeah, Toronto's 1 win away, but also Toronto's short probably their best forward in Natalie Spooner.
right.
She hurt.
She was put on LTIR today. She's gonna miss the rest of the playoffs.
Make it happen. Make it happen. Make it happen.
So-
Man, it would have been so much fun if it was
Start
Toronto-Montreal
the curse.
finals.
Start the curse.
Especially because they could have done it in like
Start the
the
curse.
big arenas too.
The PWHL
Boston, start the curse.
might mimic the NHL.
That would be
Start
crazy.
the curse. Start the curse.
But
That'd be
there is
crazy.
one other thing that I wanted to touch on as well.
Can I do one more thing with PWHL?
I'm gonna stay on it anyway.
Oh, okay. Go for it. Sorry.
The leash for head coaches in the PWHL is stupid short.
What do you mean?
New York fired their coach after our show on Friday, I think.
Dog, it's been one season. Chill.
They had a record.
I think we found the
of,
Buffalo Sabres of the PWHL.
they had a record of 5, 4, 3, and 12. In 24 games they had 26 points.
5 wins.
5 wins, 4 overtime wins, 3 overtime losses, and 12 losses.
Okay, well that's not great. But like, it's the first season. Everyone's like, some people figured it out, and some people need time
Well,
to
there's
figure
always
it
going
out.
to be one team that figures it out if they kind of need playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, give them a chance.
Give them one more season. Anyway, that was a great point. I like that.
Yep.
That's crazy. We got 6 minutes left here. It would have been crazy if Montreal-Toronto were in the PWHL finals. Do you think, because both Montreal and Toronto's NHL teams are out, if we're looking at a PWHL finals that's Toronto versus Montreal, obviously not going to happen, Montreal's out. If that happened, do you think they would do it in the big barns?
Yes.
I think that would be amazing.
I think yeah, they should.
I think they would. I think it'd be silly not to.
Because both arenas are open. It's just a question of if they still have ice.
Yeah, and I guess the Raptors.
No,
for Toronto.
Raptors are long gone.
Oh yeah, Raptors.
Oh,
Raptors,
yeah,
they
they're
are
in the playoffs, too.
Long
Oh, yeah.
gone.
So I guess it's just if there's a concert or something in either of the two arenas.
It's also if they still have ice, because I think Calgary melted theirs down a while ago.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Montreal
was playing up until 2 days ago, yesterday, literally, and then Toronto is still playing, so they still have ice.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, because they play in different arenas.
They do.
I'm so silly. Anyway, it would be cool. I think that should be something they think about going forward, is for those big ones. Like, I mean, maybe like if it's Toronto Boston, you could even pull it off too. In the big barns, the finals.
Mm-hmm.
They've proven that people come out to watch these games.
So, just to talk a bit more on the PWHL New York situation. Do you guys remember how the draft kind of works? So once you're eliminated,
Yeah.
all your points after that contribute to your draft
ranking. Yeah.
So New York has 6 points that they accrued after they were eliminated from playoffs. They had 2 wins and 1 loss. No one else had any points.
Oh, so they get to pick first.
No one else was eliminated through the rest of the entire season until the last day of the season.
So it didn't quite work how they wanted it to.
Yeah. It's good in theory, but Aiden, if you can share, oh yeah, give me a quick second. I'll share it with you because I want this to be seen. This is quite funny to me.
Well, I mean, I guess the first pick of the draft.
There. So at the top of the table is New York with 6 points, and then everyone else is not applicable because they weren't eliminated or they didn't play games after they were eliminated.
I think once more that this system will work a lot better once there's more teams involved.
Yeah, more teams and more games.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But hey, they're still in their first year. I think the PWHL has absolutely killed it so far, and they're for their first year existing. I think they did a pretty good job.
Oh,
other than the
amazing.
obvious logos and jerseys.
Cannot wait until they get names and logos though.
Me too.
I am so stoked for that.
Me too.
Just going a little off topic for the draft lottery.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the stuff in the NBA? How the worst team in the past 2 seasons has not gotten the #1 pick?
Yeah, didn't Atlanta win with like a 3% chance?
Yeah, Atlanta was the one of the best worst teams, and they got the #1 overall pick, which just shows
Why
that.
couldn't Calgary have gotten that?
Which just shows purely because, draft lotteries are brutal throughout all sports, except maybe the NFL. The NFL makes a lot of sense.
What? But I mean, it's a lottery. I think it's a cool way to sell some more ad time for an extra hour on a random day that no one's doing anything else. It works.
It works.
It's cool. It's fun. As long as you don't expect anything to actually change with it. And then when something fun like that does happen, like say Calgary got like the 2nd pick, then it's exciting. Obviously, if you go into it expecting that to happen, you're not gonna have a good time. It's like if you go into I mean, we know about this. It's like you go into a casino expecting nothing to really happen, and then if something huge happens, it's exciting.
In
it's
other words, that's cognitive dissonance.
What?
That's what you just described as cognitive dissonance. That's the term for it.
Okay.
What's the last 2 minutes of the show? Getting it back to hockey real quick. The award winner for the Mark Messier Leadership Award was announced yesterday.
Does Mark Messier watch hockey?
I mean, he's a panelist on ESPN, so I'd imagine so.
Yeah, but why did Jacob Trouba win it?
Because they're both Rangers.
For leadership.
It's not like
For
Mark Messier picks the person.
So leadership, right?
Oh wait, he does pick the word. Never mind, I'll
He
shut up. They both played the Rangers. That's why.
And it's leadership, right?
The award is given to, per an article by Josh Ragman on The Score, the award is given to the player who exemplifies great leadership qualities to his team on and off the ice during the regular season and who plays a leading role in his community growing the game of hockey.
Ovechkin, McDavid, Crosby, Boone Jenner, I would say, Nico Hischier, Roman Josi. Do I go on?
For what?
For leadership awards?
Well, yeah, but
Me?
do you know how they grow grow the game of hockey in their community?
I know.
Maybe Trouba does more than all of those guys.
He does not exemplify it on the ice.
He's a leader.
And penalty minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a leader.
That
That's what
was
I said.
good.
Okay.
Marek's snappy today.
I don't like Jacob Trouba.
That
Really?
was good.
Could not tell.
I don't like
in
him.
penalty minutes. He had that ready to go.
I don't like him. Even though I'm cheering for the Rangers, I don't like him.
Off the
that
ice,
was
Trouba is
banging.
involved with Garden of Dreams Foundation, which helps bring life-changing opportunities to young people facing illness, financial challenges, or the death or injury in a family member in uniform.
Cool, he's a good guy off the ice, but if you're taking stuff on the ice, I don't see why he's picked. If you're taking accountability into stuff he does on the ice,
I thought, but it's leadership.
He recorded 22 points in 69 games, while averaging 201 minutes and 15 seconds of ice time per contest.
You're telling me you're on the bench with Trouba and he starts yelling at you, you're not going to get fired up? Come on.
McKinnon.
Okay.
This season.
Just because one guy wins an award doesn't mean other people don't exist.
you're
He had 73 penalty minutes.
You're pointing at entirely on-ice stuff.
It's still part of it. Like
I know, I'm
that's
more
what
than part of
saying.
it, but you also completely
Yes.
disregard the other
Because
half.
I don't want to disregard
we're
that
out of
because that's
time.
actually good stuff that he's doing
Yeah, we're-
outside the ice. But if you're also going to take into account stuff on the ice, he's got so many penalties.
Just give it to Rempe. Give everything to Rempe.
What a leader.
Including the Stanley Cup. Anyway, thank you guys once again. Thank you, Aiden Johnner, up in the booth. We did a lot of fun stuff with trying to figure out how to get some stuff up on the screen. Johnner, again, does all the cameras, all the switching, all the audio, all the work for all of us down here.
He's
on
also
the
wicked
floor.
tired today.
Yeah, we all are. Marek is here. Alex is here. I'm here. We'll see you guys Friday. Enjoy the rest of the playoffs.